Hello, we are live, ma'am. Thank you.
Hi. This session is about music, the power, the joy, the beauty of music. And we have a couple of speakers over here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sorry, maybe I'll take over introducing the speakers. Hi, sorry, I took a second to join. I had some internet connections. I don't know if Vipin Aneja ji has joined us.
I'll just check. I don't think he's joined. I'll just check. Just give me a couple of seconds.
Yeah, so we
He
have
was there.
we have Vipin Aneja ji joining us. He's an Indian playback singer, working in Bollywood. He sung the popular song "Jaane Tere Sheher Ka" in the movie Jazba, which stars the likes of
Nana, can we introduce Vipinji just the moment he joins in?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just we can talk about the music till that time.
Yes, we can definitely do that. So while we're waiting for Vipinji to join us, and for everyone who's not aware, we are going to be also announcing the awardees for the music category, classical and Western music. We had competitions across. There were over 2,000 participants who took part in all of our competitions at the 28th Perfect Health Mela. So we have a lot of exciting prizes coming up. We have wonderful sessions, workshops, speakers lined up with us. Miss Komal Mathur is here. Before I hand over to her, she's someone who's very passionate about music. She's very passionate about dance. She's also a professional counselor in her professional journey. So she's the kind of perfect balance between someone who can talk about mental well-being and mental health, and overall physical well-being and health, and also how to merge the benefits of music and dance as a part of that. So while we're waiting for our speakers, I don't know if our other speaker has joined. That is Sunanda Rao. She's a trained opera singer and coach. So we're going to have a Bollywood singer and we're going to have an opera singer. So it's definitely going to be a very exciting discussion. We have over 15 lakh subscribers where this is being aired live. We have students who are joining us here. So maybe I'll get Ms. Komal Mathur to talk about her tryst with music and dance and creative expression while we're waiting for our speakers to join in. Sorry, you're on mute.
Thank you. So thank you, Nana. I loved hearing about myself from you. And it is true, I love music and dance. And the story about me and music is that I love singing. And I'm hopeless. I can barely carry a tune. But just the joy of singing, whether it's in the bathroom, whether when I'm driving, whether I'm just sitting at home or singing along with songs, Bollywood, Hollywood, old movies, I just love singing. And when I sing, it just clears up everything. And to connect again with the clip that you played of Dr. KK when we did the dance discussion. So he spoke about the chakras, and the throat chakra is predominantly the one that is involved in the singing, because that's our chakra of expression, communication. This is where the voice box and the vocal cords are. But it is also connected with the heart, because when you sing and you sing with joy, you sing with openness, it opens your heart. So in a way, you not only bring joy, you open up your whole body, your whole heart. Music touches the emotional center of our being more than any other thing. No amount of discussion, no amount of remembrances and memories bring that connection with our emotions as music does. So it's beautiful. I love music, and I'm really happy to welcome Vipin Aneja. I see you here, and it's
So I'm
great
just
to
going
have
to introduce him. Since you said music that touches a chord in your heart, and that's exactly, I mean, his music touches a chord in all our hearts. Introducing Vipin Aneja ji. He's an Indian playback singer. He's been in Bollywood. He sang the popular song Jaane Tere Chehka in the movie Jazba, and we're going to definitely get him to sing a few songs for us also, because there's a very eager audience on all our social media platforms which is waiting to hear from him. He's been doing multiple movies over the years. He's been with BB or Gangster. He's kind of sang for stars like Mahi Gill, Jimmy Shergill in those movies. So Vipin Aneja ji, it's like amazing. I mean, from Aishwarya Rai to Irfan Khan, you kind of been and seen it all. We obviously have a lot of children, students from across India who are tuned in. Just to let you know, we had 2,000 kids participating in the competitions that we've had. We've had, we've crossed over 1 lakh people that we've reached over the past couple of days. So the whole idea and the great part about the digital medium is how do earlier we used to do the mela only in the physical form, and we used to reach a certain number of people. So how do you take this to the masses? How do you tell them about the benefits of music on your mind, body, and soul? So I'm going to let Ms. Komal Mathur interact with you on that, your journey with music, your trust with music. And of course, we're going to, we love to kind of hear from you. We also have Ms. Sunanda Rao, who will be joining us. She's a trained opera singer and poet. So we just thought we'd bring some diversity here. So over to you guys.
Thank you, Naina, for a wonderful introduction and taking the baton forward of such a visionary and stalwart Dr. K.K. Agarwal, who's extremely close to my heart, not only, as in the medical field, but for what he really envisioned and what he really believed in through Perfect Mela, Health Mela. And you're taking that baton forward, and really happy to see that happening.
Thank you. Over to both of you.
So has Ms. Sunanda joined in?
Not yet. I will let you know when she joins in.
Okay, all right. So Vipin, I have to say that it's such a joy to hear your voice. Just to hear you speak is like listening to
Thank
music.
you.
So
Thank you.
So how did you start?
I think it was very organic. I think it's a gift of God that, has been given to me. I completely think that you can hone a talent, but it's a gift that is given to you by birth. I think I was probably about 5-6 years old when I saw my sister, playing harmonium, and I just stuck to that table, held on to it, and it just sounded so beautiful. I have a very avid memory of that particular moment, and I never looked back from there on. I became a very important singer of the school. I represented my school back then, in various state level competitions. I won a couple of state level competitions back then because there were no reality shows. We primarily had Doordarshan, and there were hardly any television channels. And from a singer, of the school, I of course took it forward later on in my years when I started training in Hindustani classical, and being from Delhi, I started working in the studio with Shantanu Moitra, who's a very celebrated music composer now in Mumbai for Bollywood. But I started my journey singing jingles for him. And there's a Quincy Jones of India, Mr. Jawahar Vattal, who heard my demos that I worked on with Shantanu back then, and I got my first deal as a pop singer back then in year 2000 with the album Teri Payal. So I think it was all predestined. I've had the first-hand sort of taste of destiny when we talk of it, because I was somebody who always believed in karma, and that's it. I always thought that we kind of can achieve anything by just karma. But I came to terms of tasting destiny firsthand in many ways, and I think I was destined to. Music chose me over my academics, because I was doing pretty well in academics as well. I was pursuing my degree in business administration. But having said that, I think here I am. It all started from Delhi in the year 2000 with my first album, which back then we had physical CDs. So we used to launch those with like, amazing events in Delhi, in branding with Times of India and all across. So started performing live all across India and abroad. And that's how we met Dr. K.K. Agarwal, who was, very, very enterprising, human being. He had many facets to himself, not just as a doctor, but, how he really connected the youth and, made them aware of what health means to, what's the importance of health in day-to-day life in various ways. And if I may say that music is something which is my life, and I breathe music, I sleep music, I mean, everything about music is what it flows in my blood now. I think it is something that resides in everyone. Some, of course, get it a little special, but then everybody can sing, because I performed for the doctors to college students to lawyers to, you name it, and I've performed for everyone. And I've seen all of them sing, and it just, I think it's the dopamine when you sing, when you're celebrating, when you're just feeling happy while entertaining, or, if you're just kind of joining me singing along, just kind of creates the right kind of dopamine in your brain and just makes you feel happy. Sometimes when I'm doing my riyaz, and I've never really sat down and meditated, but I meditate through my music. So music has various layers to itself. And I must tell a lot of children who are tuned in right now that it actually, you don't need to get high on anything else in life if you can get high on music. That's my, take on it. Over to you again.
Thank you so much. That was so lovely. I love that message, that you don't need anything else to get high.
Yes.
And I will come back to you again, Vipin, but I've just got to know that our other speaker, Sunanda Rao Erdem, she has just joined in, and
Wonderful.
I'd like to introduce her. So Sunanda is a trained opera singer. She's one of the few in this country who actually has a degree in opera. Wow, Sunanda.
Hi everybody. Pleasure to be here.
Sorry?
Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And I believe you have performed in the most prestigious theaters across the world, including Germany, Italy, and in the US. And now you're based in Delhi and Germany, and have recently recorded a song with the German ambassador for his album.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about your journey? Because Vipin just shared his beautiful journey, which is so full of the beauty and joy of destiny and luck, how they have supported him, and of course the hard work that goes into the training. So what about you?
Okay, so I mean, it's really a pleasure, and I just happened to hear the last sentences of Vipin, and I really cannot echo that enough, that really no other drug can give you that big a high that art and performance can. The adrenaline when you get, the kind of vibes that you get when you're a live performer. My field of music, so to say, is not really for the masses, right? So it's not like we have ever had audience that is going to be there and like shouting. I think Vipin has more of an experience in that. It's a classical art form, right? So it will have a niche audience. Opera music is very, very, I would not say it, the form in itself, it requires you to build an instrument within yourself. And just as a violin, a violin maker, for instance, he's going and looking at the quality of wood. He's waiting for the wood to be seasoned, then he's carving it, and he's producing the sound. He's looking at the different vibrations of the wood, and then putting the strings together, and then having a bow with the right amount of pressure. Now imagine all these things put together, and you are actually preparing a sound within the human voice that is supposed to emulate everything that that violin maker has also thought of. In fact, it's the other way around, because all instruments are actually coming to emulate the beauty of the human voice. Now, the opera as an art form is, we are not using microphones because we are supposed to have that amplification system within our body. So our body is not just producing sound, it is producing resonance, it is producing the different vibrations, the different, and we as opera singers are supposed to work on the production, the quality of sound within our own self, with the muscles that we have, with the cavities in our head space, how the voice and sound and air resonates. It's a lot of anatomy. It's a lot of thought process behind it, and it takes years and years and years. So when actually a singer, an opera singer, I started learning singing after the, like, after the age of 15 or 16. That's where the human voice actually starts to develop more. It becomes more, comes to rest. It kind of becomes more mature. That's when our lungs start to kind of develop properly, and we do not practice for hours and hours. It's more here. How do you condition your we have to learn different languages, be it Italian, French, German, Russian, Czech. We need to be able to at least speak in all those languages. We don't know all of them. There are operas in Hindi. You would be surprised. Composers have composed 200, 300 years ago when they were fascinated by the idea of India. So you have also art songs that have been composed on Rabindranath Tagore's music, his compositions. So you've had a lot of collaboration because in our music, the music is written down already, and it's the interpretation. And you have an entire orchestra. And imagine our opera houses are built in that fashion, that are there to carry the voice. Similarly, church music, when you're singing in a church, or in fact, even in a temple for that matter, in those days when there were no mics, how were singers performing? So all that is studied. We have studied. So I'm from Delhi. I was learning this. I started playing the flute. I was never that inspired, but I always wanted to sing. And I learned here privately, and then I kind of gave an audition for one of the biggest conservatories in Cologne in Germany, and that's where my musical journey started. That was way back in 1997, and I studied there for a good 8 years. Degrees in Germany are very, very extensive. It's not 4 or 5 years, it's a good long 8 years. I studied that, and during that time I was performing, and also after that. So yeah, it's been a fascinating journey. Nowadays I am encouraging young students. We run a foundation called the Nindana Music Foundation. That's the only foundation in India that is actually promoting opera singers to go and study abroad. We train them in the beginning here when we find a talented voice, and we train them, and then they go and study in France or in Germany or wherever they get admission. We give them scholarships, because this kind of music is very different from the usual Indian classical, or the basic form of music or training that we have here in India. We do not have a great infrastructure for Western classical. So yeah, I'm open for any questions, but I would also like to, I was experimenting with Dr. K.K. Agarwal. Unfortunately, he left us a little too soon, but we were talking about the effect of how opera singing has an effect on the human mind. And when we work with different vowels, how ah sound is produced, or o or oo, even om sound. He was kind of, experimenting with me for quite some time. And we wanted to do a workshop. Unfortunately, that never took place. But yes, we are still hopeful that we would do this someday.
Wow, that is so beautiful. And I'm so happy to hear that both of you, Vipin, you and Sunanda, were working with Dr. KK. And it's so beautiful to have you both here, encouraging us, inspiring us. And I'm very excited, Sunanda, about what you just said, to do a workshop. So can I don't know if it's possible. I'd like both of you to say whether it is it possible for us, all of us, to experience something which is combined with, Vipin, your music, and Sunanda, your music, that we as lay people can, who are not trained in anything. I don't know, maybe there are people over here who are trained. As I was saying, that I'm not trained in anything, but I love singing. So is there anything in that we can do just to experience the joy of both of your forms? And even if we can't sing along, just to hear you, to hear the magic that you both seem to be experiencing and living in all the time.
Sunanda, do you want to take that?
I've met Vipin for the first time.
Yes.
I stand guilty. I do not know. Actually, what happens with opera singing is we need an entire orchestra, because Western classical music is not just based on melody, it has harmony. So in order to experience that, you need to experience that in entirety. I'm happy to show you some concepts, or how different resonance chambers are sounding when you're using your head voice, or your chest resonance, or your throat resonance. But I want to hear Vipin first. Let him go ahead. And then maybe
let me make this a little more focused. So we have a whole bunch of aspiring singers and possibly really experienced singers, eager, young, hopeful of carrying their musical journeys forward to fruition in different ways, lots of success. So is there something that you can give as pointers, which are not just things to remember, but how to throw your voice, for example? That's something that people do as part of public speaking workshops. So what do you think you could share with all of us and our singers that could be useful for them? Both of you.
Well, if I may just kind of add a little bit to this, that music has also helped a lot of people in sleep apnea disease and various other diseases. Rather, I have a doctor friend who actually experimented through music. There's a particular raga. So every raga in the Hindustani form has a certain effect on your body, and they are sung at a certain time of the day. So there is one raga called Purya Dhanashri. In fact, I'd like to dedicate a small mantra to Dr. Agarwal, because I didn't even get to pay my condolences to the family. I was myself, down with COVID around that time. It took me a long time to recover. But having said that, so this raga is Purya Dhanashri, and we have an aro and an avro. So while you descend, if you just have a music piece which is just descending for people who have problems sleeping, not getting proper sleep and everything, they have been really benefited by this concept of music. So I composed last year. I don't really compose music, but then just when pandemic kind of hit us and one was completely taken aback and didn't know how to move forward, because I do a lot of live shows. I do mostly popular music, Bollywood music and everything, but there's another form of music which I really love. So let me sing this mantra, which is composed in Purya Dhanashri. I hope it sort of resonates with people. It has the effect that I'm just going to try and create for everyone.
Sounds lovely.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if you actually experience this in a form of a dhuni, which is like a repetition of this raga, doctors themselves, in fact, Dr. K.K. Agarwal knew him very well, a very dear friend of mine, who's a sleep apnea specialist, actually used this on a couple of his patients alongside the other medical equipment, and it worked wonders. They could have, they could sleep like a baby after this raga. So this is a little bit of what I could sort of correlate medicine with music for now. But I'd hand it over to Sunanda to kind of give us a little more spiel on this, and because she's worked on details in terms of the sounds from various chambers, and so I'd love to get more insight on this from Sunanda.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vipin. That was beautiful, really. In the middle of it, I was like, wow, this is the effect of sound. Komal, how much time do I have? First, you have to tell me this. Do I have 5 minutes?
Of course.
Then let's do a workshop. I know the participants cannot, I'm not able to actually do it along with me, but I'll show it to you. Let me just stand for it, because if you don't mind, you just have to see whether I am visible while I'm standing. Can you see me?
Yes. Yes.
Sorry. So here we go. Now, the thing is that when I'm singing, I have to use my entire body, right? Now, what does it mean? Everybody says पेट से गाओ. पेट से गाने का मतलब क्या होता है? And so this is something that it's mostly about regulating your breathing pattern. So when you actually, most of the times when people are breathing, they don't realize कि हम inhale कर रहे हैं तो हमारे body में क्या हो रहा है, and when we are exhaling, what's really happening. So when you're actually inhaling, your stomach goes out when you're standing, just even while sitting low, but if you're standing, you'll notice that the stomach is actually going in when you're inhaling. So when you're lying down, that's the most important time where the body is actually able to regenerate the breathing. So how we use breathing is, you have to think of a balloon, and when you fill in the air, it expands, and when you exhale, it kind of needs to contract. So there are different diaphragm muscles that we use. We use the muscles here, we use our side muscles. Then when you're producing sound, let's say I'm singing a scale, which is a simple major scale. You have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? So you have, you're simply using that one octave. Opera singers are supposed to increase their range. They are supposed to sing very low. They are supposed to sing very high. So a typical opera singer will have anywhere a range of between 2.5 to 3 octaves. Usually Indian classical singers are operating within the 1 octave range. What I mean by octave is, you will see the piano, you have like this huge keyboard, and then you have the 7 keys, and then they repeat in terms of going higher on the pitch or lower on the pitch. So that means you have to actually be able to produce a high pitched sound which needs to carry and reach the audience. If you have an 800 people auditorium, the last person sitting on the last bench needs to be able to hear my voice when I'm singing at my softest. That means we're using a lot of frequencies within our body, the resonance chambers. Now, as I just said, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, I can sing it like na, 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 na. This is where I'm using my speaking voice. Now, if I use this, it is not going to carry because I'm not using the amplification in our body. So, if I say I need to sing it in a lower pitch and it has to carry, I'm using my chest resonance. I'll say na 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 na, and then I have to have a right mix and use my head resonance. So what I'll do is I'll lift up at the back of my throat, which is where you yawn. We call it the yawning position. Now you'll hear the difference. Na 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 na. So I'm using the different chambers in my body, and I am using it to have that right mix. So even just as a nucleus has a center, even a voice note, a sound note has a center and it has to hit. If you do not have the right mix, you will either sound flat or you will sound high or you sound sharp. So based around होने के लिए ज़्यादा chances हो जाते हैं, right? This is and then we have the different kind of how do you really then work on the breathing. So when I say I need to breathe in, then I have to expand. You can't see me. I guess let me stand on the side and I'm just holding myself. I was not prepared for it. Sorry. So when I'm breathing in, you see this? And this has to go on the side, it has to go on the back muscles, here and everywhere. So this is just the very basic concept of how you approach sound when you do not have amplification. If you have amplification, of course, then you do not need to worry about the different chambers. But what this kind of singing does, it works massively on the kind of sound that you're producing. If I do not work on the quality of sound, then I'll be a forgettable singer because that my voice is like my angutha. Every human voice is very unique. It has an impression. And that impression needs to be figured out or needs to be portrayed in the best possible manner of my own personality, my own throat, my epiglottis, my glottis, my frame of mouth is very unique. Just as any, so we have different voices and it needs to be, you need to flower within your own system. So just to, we bring out the uniqueness of the human voice and make it beautiful so that it remains in the head or the mind. And we work a lot on technique. And for me, a good singer is when I'm performing and the person sitting in the audience is saying, "Ye to bahut aasan hai, ye to main bhi ga sakta hu." That's where my work is done. That's when I have succeeded in becoming a good singer, a good performer. My aim should be to work hard on my own system and my voice in such a manner that it becomes so easy for the listener. If I'm doing so much of and this and high note nahi nikal raha, low note nahi nikal raha, ye nahi samajh mein aa raha, that means I'm making it difficult for the listener, right? And then if the listener is cringing at some point of time, that means I've failed. That's what the beauty of music is. It's supposed to expand and it's supposed to kind of bring out the cosmos of sound within yourself. So this is a little bit, I hope I haven't bored you all with that, but
that was so
Very
amazing.
beautifully put. Yes.
So we have a few questions. I would love to go on deeper and deeper into what you both are bringing to this. It's so beautiful. But I'd also like to, bring out the questions that people have asked. So Pooja still has asked, And I think this is addressed to you, Sunanda. So as you mentioned, opera is not mainstream in India. So you helped, who helped you the most in this journey, and how were you introduced to this art?
My father, my parents actually. And my father was a physics person. He was teaching physics at Delhi Public School. He retired as the vice principal in Delhi. Uh, he always felt that me and my brother, we had talent in music. So it was destined from day one that we will, you can study as much, but this art form is so important. It is important for you to develop a career. We showed some talent, I guess, as children. And he was the one who said, yes, marks are not important in life. You need to do something much more. Your talent has to be put in. I think it depends on, when you have parents who can recognize the talent and then push it. If you know that you are talented in something, you need to be able to convince. But there's nothing. I really got lucky that I had amazing parents that helped me, and they actually gave the direction for me to actually pursue music as a career option.
Thank you. What has been the best performance of your career so far? And this is for both of you, Sunanda, for you as well as for you, Vipin. Vipin, would you like to go first?
Well, there are a couple of them. It'll be difficult for me to kind of, pick one out of it. But for sure, this amazing concert that I was a part of with A.R. Rahman, and this was my first time when I performed with him in Malaysia, and there were close to about 30,000 people there, and 100 live musicians on stage. It was absolutely out of this world kind of an experience. I did get to further on record a Tamil song and the same song in Telugu as well, which has hit 100 million mark. And I don't know the language at all, but I think music is beyond any language. Like Sunanda was saying, that she continuously has, she's kind of working on different languages, and music being the common denominator, and the language, which is like a common denominator with humans. I think I've come to, again, terms with few things in life, apart from the destiny, which I reiterate again. I would say that music just transcends any kind of boundary, any caste, religion, any form of language. So now I'm so confident after singing Tamil and Telugu, and I sing various other languages as well. But that one experience of performing with Rahman, which I performed in various other countries as well, was absolutely phenomenal experience.
Wow, this gets even more fascinating. And what about you, Sunanda?
So I mean, yes, I've done a lot of work, as in I've performed opera, as I said, in Germany, and you introduced that. But my most memorable performances were when I was working as an artist for a foundation called Yehudi Menuhin. Yehudi Menuhin Live Music Now. Yehudi Menuhin was a very, very famous violinist who also worked a lot with Ravi Shastri. So he had a foundation, and it required younger students like us and musicians. And I was in Germany at that time, and we were asked to go to unconventional locations and perform. So I was part of a trio. It was a clarinet player and a pianist. And the most interesting concerts were the ones that I did in an old age home, a prison, and an asylum for now I don't know, mentally challenged, whether I'm using the correct political terminology. So that my most memorable performance was that I went to this asylum, and we were really, you're young, you don't know what is expected. And we just sat, there were people who were asked to come and sit, but we were told that the reactions could be very different. So it was an intimate setting, and we started singing, and we sung some songs from this in last century, early 19th, 20th century songs. And suddenly, in the midst of the performance, a gentleman got up, and he came up to me on stage, and he just looked at me, and I saw tears coming from his eyes. And he could not express himself. He could not talk. He could not, move around much. But he came and he just tears flew. They just wouldn't stop. And then I saw a smile on his face. Similarly, in the hospital, I was just alone, and not everybody in a hospital can come and see you, but they had a live telecast of our concert in the chapel. And at the end of it, people came and they interact with you, the patients in the hospital. And all you saw were these people who were so, you felt that you've given them a lot of love, you've given them a lot of memories back. And that was the most fulfilling. The same thing happened to me. We were so scared, oh my God, we're going to be singing in front of murderers or criminals or whoever. And they prepared for them. It was a highlight of the month for them that there are these musicians coming and performing. And they decorated the whole hall, and they gave us coffee, cake, and you're like, okay. And they were so happy that we sang, and they came and thanked. And I said, well, what are you doing in the day? Yeah, sorry, but I've been here for the past 14 years. And I'm like, okay. But, when they come and say that, thank you for the music, you made me forget my misery. That is something that is absolutely, it's much better than any other, rewarding than any other thing you can ever think of on this planet.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay, so there's another question, and I don't know who this is addressed to. You both will have to figure this out. It says, do you think auto-tuning has affected the originality of singing?
Vipin, please go ahead, because I'll start off. Please stop me.
All right. So I'll just say one thing to this, that the best of singers are auto-tuned now. Some need more hours to correct, and some might just need to process their voice through it. It's a software. But having said that, I would also say that because of the whole science of it, our ears are attuned to a certain frequency. And now, because with this whole medium of correcting your voice pitch perfect, a lot of people have taken it easy, and the youth, especially, who have the sort of privilege of social media, where they become overnight sensations, and their music would work so well with the audience, would not really pay too much attention to really working on the craft in terms of doing their practice or riyaz, because they know that, okay, they can always go into the studio and auto-tune their voice, but it doesn't really work that way. Because I feel more than auto-tuning, it is the feel that will never be replicated in this life. So what you throw into the song, the feel, alongside your years and years of practice, for the gift that God has bestowed you with, if you work upon that craft, and then every singer, the best from, you name it, everybody's voice is now, it goes through the auto-tune, because like I said, it's a certain frequency that our ears are attuned to right now. And I think it's, again, two sides of the coin to everything in life, of how you really use it. And I will, of course, vouch for working hard on your craft, practicing. And I'm sure Sunanda will agree to that, because she's got a beautiful, clear voice like a glass. I wanted to ask Sunanda, so did that glass break with, that note yet or not?
No, that's a myth. Actually, the biggest
that's a myth.
Nothing has ever actually broken glass. It just shattered. It's vibration, right? It'll just reverb a little bit. Just to add to what Vipin has said, I always give this one example or an imagery. If you were to paint a human face, which is perfect in every sense of the word, let's say the eyes are perfect, on the nose or the mouth, you think you're going to get the most beautiful face? I think you could. It has been experimented quite a lot. You get the ugliest face ever possible, perhaps. Now, every human voice, as I said, it's very unique. It needs to have imperfection, because art is imperfect. And that's the beauty of art. That's the beauty of expression. And if we remove that element from it, I totally understand in today's day and age, you need to have, you need to work with synthesizers. But I request the younger lot, please go and listen to live performances as much as you can, because that's where you're going to really, as performers, as students of music, as students of any kind of art form, the true art is, you know, you guys are also very lucky because you now have YouTube. In our day and age, we didn't have. We used to, you know, go hunt for cassettes, those school cassettes. And it was very difficult to get to listen to music that was world class. Now you have everything at the click of a button. Which is probably, but as I said, the other problem with auto tuning is a human voice has also overtones. You know, again, I'll give you another imagery because the younger lot does understand with that. You have a perfume, right? Girls go and buy perfume. You have the bass note, you have the top note, you have the middle note. Similarly, in the voice also, you have three different types of notes, three different types of one that is immediately there, as you pointed out, Vipin, the glassy sound in mind. But if you're in front of me, you would have had a different lasting effect of the human sound. Now, what auto tune does is it takes away the overtones of a human voice, which is the cream, the cherry on the top, right? That is the one that is responsible for giving goosebumps to the listener, right? And if that's not there, again, you can use it, you can hide the human voice with all sorts of instruments, you can do anything. But what is music actually supposed to do? What's the function? It's supposed to, we've done, it's expression, it's art. It's supposed to give you man ki shanti or evoke certain emotions. And that's what auto-tune has actually finished, and that's why I will never be able to be an advocate for auto-tune. I want to hear
and just to add, yeah, and just to add on to this, Sunanda, I think an auto tune can work in a studio, but when we perform live, there you go. I mean, nothing is really going to you know, be more impactful than just what you're singing live in front of the audience. And like you said, the emotion and the kind of feeling that you want to you know, extend to everyone. So yes, very well said, Sunanda.
Thank you, Vipin.
And this is leading me to something that I've been bubbling to ask both of you to do. Please sing for us. Something, anything that,
Sure.
that, you know, evoking an emotion that you want us to feel. Whatever it is.
Sure. Sunanda, after you, I'd love to hear you sing one of your favorite. I mean, I would love for you to sing a piece from one of the you know, the operas that you've sort of you know, presented in front of many people. But having said that, anything.
I'm doing this call in the office. I do not have a piano. But let me do one thing. Let me sing something that probably most people know. It is a Broadway musical song. It's from a very famous musical called Sound of Music, if you've heard.
Yes.
It will give you the flavor of how the voice, when it's thrown, projected carefully. Sorry, phone, I should say that. But let me sing that for you. And yeah, it'll give you a certain, I can't, you see, the problem, as I said, with if I sing an aria, which is a song within an opera. Opera is basically musical theater, the word. But I would not have the backing of the musical, the music instrument. So let me sing something that people know already. I'll sing the title song from Sound of Music. It's called "The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music." Is that, you know that? But
Yes.
I'm just going to just take any scale because this is really random. Okay. The hills are alive with the sound of music, with songs they have sung for 1,000 years. sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears. My heart wants to beat like the wings of the bird that fly from the lake to the tree. My heart wants to sigh like a child that flies from the church on a breeze, to laugh like a brook when it trips and falls over stones on its way, to sing through the night like a lark who is learning to pray. I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. I know I will hear what I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with the sound of music, and I'll sing once more. Thank you.
Incredible, incredible, Sunanda. Beautiful.
Goosebumps. Now you
Vipin, I'm now dying to hear your voice.
Sure, I would love to sing something for you all. I'm just thinking what I shall, but I think there's one song which I sang for the film Jazba, and the song is called "Jaane Tere Shehar Ka Kya Irada Hai, Aasman Kam Parinde Zyada Hai," and this I sang for one of my most favorite actors called Irfan Khan, and this song surely feels very special because it's in the playlist of a lot of music connoisseurs of India and abroad as well, I'm sure. So I'd sing few lines of that for you all. कि जाने हम पे कौन सी ऐसी तोहमत है, समझ ना पाए ऐब है या ये आदत है, मलमल में लिपटे हैं फिर भी बिखरे हैं, बस ये जाम हमारा है हम इसके हैं, यूं तो मेरा दर्द ही एक दवा सा है, यूं तो मेरा दर्द ही एक दवा सा है, हर घड़ी जिंदा हर दिन नया सा है, जाने तेरे शहर का क्या इरादा है, आसमान कम परिंदे ज्यादा है, जाने तेरे शहर का क्या इरादा है. And if I may add another song to this, तू होगा जरा पागल तूने मुझको है चुना, तू दिन सा है मैं रात आना, दोनों मिल जाए शामों की तरह, ये मोह मोह के धागे तेरी उंगलियों से जा उलझे, कोई टोह टोह ना लागे किस तरह गिरा ये सुलझे, है रोम रोम एक तारा, है रोम रोम एक तारा, जो बादलों में से गुजरे, जाने तेरे शहर का क्या इरादा है, आसमान कम परिंदे ज्यादा है, ओ जाने तेरे शहर का क्या इरादा है।
Wow,
Beautiful,
that was
Vipin.
so beautiful.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
people in the audience, in the rest of the group, are saying it's so beautiful.
Thank
Really.
you. Thank you. Sunanda was fabulous, and I would love to collaborate with her on some project or the other. Hopefully, we shall meet soon in Delhi as well. And I think it was really sort of informative and very effective session in terms of new nuances coming from Sunanda of a different sort of genre of music, and which I'm extremely fond of, because I still remember watching the Broadway musical in New York, Phantom of the Opera, and it just left such an indelible mark. To really sort of look and sort of cherish that always. I think the similar sort of effect was created, and we experienced that with Sunanda as well today. So thank you, Sunanda.
Absolutely, Vipin, my pleasure. And we opera singers are like dying to share this kind of experience that we have. Very few Indians have, we fight against a lot of stereotypes, and we struggle to kind of have that place. Otherwise, it's always the moody opera singers that is they're portrayed in movies. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to collaborate, and we'd love to kind of do something together. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to just give our thoughts, talk to you. I wish I'm available for any other questions, but I really want to wish the younger people here today in the audience. I wish them all the best. I'm told that this is going to be a competition of sorts. Please correct me if I'm wrong. There are going to be some awards. So I think, Vipin, let's just do a thumbs up for them, no?
There you go.
So we actually screened about 2,000 people over the past 1 week. We're going to be announcing the winners because we ended up getting 2,000 applications. We had no possible way we thought we could do it all live, given the technical issues. Given it's been amazing to see the kind of feedback that we've got from people, the kind of support we've got. I guess that's what happens with the kind of fan following Dr. K.K. Agarwal had and has. Actually, I should say has. So thank you, all of you. It's been an absolute pleasure. We do continuous sessions very regularly with schools, with colleges. I myself do a session with school principals and school students every Thursday, where we get about a couple of hundred people joining in. And then, of course, it's all aired live. So we do workshops. We do a lot of different things. So would love to associate going forward as well. Different formats, different platforms, different kind of audiences. We do those things. So would love to collaborate with all of you. Thank you so much. I will hand over to Sakshi to take forward the awards. Now we've got a lot of people who've been waiting. Schools are logged in. They're kind of showcasing this on their school, in their auditoriums and their school sessions and stuff like that. So I'll let Sakshi take it from here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to our panel. This was genuinely one of the best sessions I have attended during the entirety of Mela. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've learned so much. Every budding singer in the audience, I'm sure, has learned so much. Thank you so much to our panel for joining us. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Now we move on to the awards. Uh, so let's start. We can start with classical singing category. Please give it up, and congratulations to Harsh Balwa from School of Open Learning. Congratulations to you.
Samagama Samagama Dhani Sa Ni Dha Ma Ga Ma Ga Sa Ni Sa Dhani Sa कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर ऋतु बसंत को देता संदेशवा ऋतु बसंत को देता संदेशवा कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर नव कलियन में गूंजत भंवरा नव कलियन में गूंजत भंवरा उनके सांग करत रंग रलिया उनके सांग करत रंग रलिया यही बसंत को देता संदेशवा यही बसंत को देता संदेशवा कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर सामा गमा धमा धनी सा नि सा नि सा गमा गा सा धनी सा नि धनी धम कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर निसा गा सा ग म ध ध म ध नि धानी सा नि धानी धानी ध म ग सा कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर समा गमा धमा गमा निसा नि धमा गमा गा सा कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर कोयलिया बोले अम्बवा डाल पर
Congratulations to you. Are you on call with us? Harsh Bhavla from School of Open Learning. Are you on call with us? We'll call you on stage then.
Hello.
Hi, Harsh.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving me this award.
Harsh, can you turn on your camera?
Okay.
Hi, Harsh. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So what age did you start singing? Is this something you recently picked up, or have you always been a singer?
No, ma'am. Actually, my mom belongs to singing family, so it's a gift from her. and normally, ma'am, ज़्यादा it's not a long time, but एक्चुअली डेली बेसिस में थोड़ा बहुत शायद मे बी 1-1.5 साल से ही रियाज वगैरह कर रहा हूँ क्लासिकल सिंगिंग सीखता हूँ अपनी मम्मा से थोड़ा बहुत क्लासिकल वगैरह नॉर्मल
बहुत प्यारा गाया आपने हर्ष कंग्रेचुलेशंस टू यू
थैंक यू सो मच
कंग्रेचुलेशंस टू योर मदर फॉर टीचिंग यू सो वेल
यस रियली she'll be very happy.
Okay, everybody, can you please unmute yourselves and give a big round of applause to Harsh? Congratulations, Harsh. Beautifully sung.
Congratulations.
Thank you all of you. Thank you so much.
Okay, congratulations to our second winner. Now we move on to the next winner. Congratulations to Zamir Abbas from Faculty of Nursing, SGT College.
अर्जियां सारी मैं चेहरे पे लिख के लाया हूँ। तुमसे क्या मांगूं मैं, तुम खुद ही समझ लो या मौला। मौला 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 मेरे मौला, मौला 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 मौला। दरारे दरारे है माथे पे मौला, मरम्मत मुकद्दर की कर दो मौला मेरे मौला। मौला 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 मेरे मौला, मौला 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 मौला। दरारे दरारे है माथे पे मौला, मरम्मत मुकद्दर की कर दो मौला मेरे मौला। जो भी तेरे दर आया, झुकने जो सर आया, मस्तियाँ पिए सबको झूमता नजर आया। जो भी तेरे दर आया, झुकने जो सर आया, मस्तियाँ पिए सबको झूमता नजर आया। कैसे लेके आया था दरिया बोलाया था, नूर की बारिश में भीगता सा गया। मौला 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 मेरे मौला, मौला 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 मौला। दरारे दरारे है माथे पे मौला, मरम्मत मुकद्दर की कर दो मौला मेरे मौला।
Congratulations to you. Are you on call with us, Zami?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man.
Congratulations, Zami. That was a beautifully sung song. That was so beautiful.
It really means a lot. Like, I'm
I
so blessed.
genuinely mean it. So, do you play the guitar as well?
Yeah, मैं अभी थोड़ा सीखना शुरू किया. Basically, I am not a trained vocalist. I never take any class for vocals or guitar. अब जो है मतलब ऊपर वाली की तरफ से गिफ्ट दिया है वॉइस वगैरह तो बाकी गिटार थोड़ा बहुत प्ले कर लेते हैं. बट इट्स रियली लाइक बहुत खुशी हुई.
आप
I'm
डिजर्व
really
करते हो.
thankful to
हमने बहुत प्यारे है. ये आज जजेस थॉट आप बहुत प्यारा गाए. जमीर आप पूरा डिजर्व करते हो ये.
thank you. It means a lot. It really means a lot.
I
Getting
genuinely mean it.
appreciation from like thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
तो आपने कब शुरू किया आपने गाना?
सी जहाँ तक मुझे याद है मतलब जब से सेंस आया लाइक याद जहाँ तक मुझे याद है तब से मैं गा रहा था. आई टोल्ड यू ना कि इट वाज अ नेचुरल थिंग. मतलब गॉड गिफ्टेड था तो तब से कंटिन्यूअसली. बट आई विल टेक क्लासेस लाइक आई नीड टू इम्प्रूव माई सेल्फ.
तो मतलब आपके फैमिली में is there a singer or that's something you naturally went into?
नेचुरली है. सिंगर तो नहीं है पर ऐसा है कि मैटरनल साइड से भी पैटर्नल साइड से भी मतलब अच्छा गाते हैं. जो भी गाता है अच्छा गाता है. लाइक कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है कि जिसको इसमें इंटरेस्ट है. लाइक आई एम द फर्स्ट वन बट आई विल परस्यू दिस. आई विल टेक क्लासेस.
Okay, congratulations to Zameer. सब एक बार अनम्यूट करके तालियां बजा दीजिए.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. It means a lot.
Zameer.
Congratulations, भैया.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's move on to the winner. Congratulations to Alina from Holy Family College of Nursing. Can we have her video?
Pani sare sani sani pani sani pa mare sani sare ma pani sare sa 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 pani sare sani sani pani sani pa mare sani sare ma pani sare sa
सा बरखा की ऋतु आई, आए बरखा की ऋतु आई, संदेशवा लाई 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 बरखा की ऋतु आई।
क्या बात है।
नन्ही बूंदिया में हा परत है, नन्ही नन्ही बूंदिया में हा परत है, पवन चलत पुरवाई, पवन चलत पुरवाई, आए बरखा की ऋतु आई, आए बरखा की ऋतु आई। दादर मोर पपीहा बोले, दादर मोर पपीहा बोले, दादर मोर मा 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 रे ग म पा 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 म प ध म पनी नी पनी पनी सा नि प मा रे सा नि प मा रे सा नि प मा रे सा। दादर मोर पपीहा बोले, दादर मोर पपीहा बोले, पिहू पिहू रटत कार रस बोले, पिहू पिहू रटत कार रस बोले, अभी जाओ ओ निर्मोहे, अभी जाओ ओ निर्मोहे, काहे देर लगाए, काहे देर लगाई, आए बरखा की ऋतु आई, आए बरखा की ऋतु आई। रिम झिम मेघा बरसे, रिम झिम मेघा बरसे, रिम झिम निसरे म पनि प म पनि सरे सनि सनि म परे सनि प म रे सरे रे सा। रिम झिम मेघा बरसे, रिम झिम मेघा बरसे, तुम्हारे दरस को नैना तरसी, तुम्हारे दरस को नैना तरसी, घनन घनन घन बादल गरजे, घनन घनन घन बादल गरजे, दरपत दामिनी आई, दरपत दामिनी आई, आए बरखा की ऋतु आई, आए बरखा की ऋतु आई, संदेशवा लाई 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 बरखा की ऋतु, बरखा की ऋतु, बरखा की ऋतु आई। Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Alina. That was so beautifully sung. Alina, you're on call? Are you on call?
Yes, ma'am.
Please
Hello.
turn on your video, dear. Yep. Can you turn on your video?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Ma'am,
Alina,
am I
you sang so beautifully. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations to you, Alina.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's an honor.
वाह क्या बात है, जैसा कह रहे थे वो।
Yes, ma'am.
अपने बारे में कुछ बताइए, आपने कब शुरू किया गाना?
Ma'am, I haven't taken any professional classes or such. I have been singing ever since I was a kid, but as such कोई classes नहीं लिए हैं. I just sing. And
that's wonderful.
That's it, ma'am.
Did somebody in your family introduce you to singing?
Not as such. I mean, no one in my family sings, so it's just me. And then school में थोड़ा सा exposure मिला था, so in that way I got to sing. So that's.
So is there a reason you chose classical singing? Because I've noticed like people who get into classical singing are generally introduced by someone in their family.
No, ma'am, I do not have any reason as such. I just like singing, and then I had this exposure. Like we had Indian music classes in school, so I was exposed to songs in that manner. So I had some training like that. So I just sang and participated in this.
Alina, you sang so beautifully. You sang, man. You sang really well.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to you, everybody. Please unmute and give it up for Lina. She sang so beautifully well.
Congratulations.
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 Thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Okay, let's move on to Western singing now. Congratulations in the third place. We have congratulations to Ria from DIP SAR. Congratulations, Ria.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, just give us a second. Okay, Ria, while we are at it, tell us something about yourself.
Something about initially I was actually a dancer. I was never a singer. But as soon as I changed my schools, my hobbies also changed, and then I ended up becoming a singer. But I've been singing ever since I was in the 5th grade, and well, I have never stopped since then, which is why I'm here now. And I'm actually very happy because wow, I did not know. I didn't know what to expect honestly, and I'm actually very, very happy. Thank you so much for having me there at the event and today here as well and presenting this beautiful prize for me.
Thank you for participating. We are glad you shared your talent with us. You shared your talent on our platform. We are grateful for that. So why did you switch? Like, why did you make the switch?
I I was actually forced into making the switch because my school teacher wouldn't take me in for the dancing club. So then I was like, okay, I will just choose another hobby for myself. So then I started singing, and now it is actually a lot more than a hobby. It has become a support, emotional support for me. So I guess that is it for me.
Okay, we'll see your video now, Ria, and get back to you.
So good evening to everyone here. I am Jazba, and I'm going to be singing this song that was sung by Michael Jackson called "Heal the World," and I'm going to be singing it in the C sharp scale. There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place could be much better than tomorrow. And if you really try, you find there's no need to cry. In this place, you feel there's no hurt or sorrow. There are ways to get there if you care enough about to live in. Make a little space, make a better place. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying if you care enough about the living. Make a better place for you and for me. There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place could be much brighter than tomorrow. If you really try, you find there's no need to cry in this sorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Ria. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We would like an impromptu performance if that's okay with you. Can you sing
Yeah,
us?
no, that's perfect. What would you like? I actually have my guitar right in front of me. What would
Tell,
you like to hear?
tell me who's your favorite singer. I'll ask you to sing the
I
song for us.
actually I actually listen to a lot of. Okay, so I know I sang an English song there, but is it okay if I sing a Hindi song right now?
Absolutely, absolutely. We would love that. Please go
Perfect.
ahead.
So, I hope everyone listens to Vishal Mishra here. There's this song that he released last year, which is stuck in my head ever since. So, I'm gonna sing that. It's called Manja. है मांझा तेरा तेज ये दिल की पतंग को काटे है तुझी से कटके ये गिरे तेरी छत पे आके है मांझा तेरा तेज ये दिल की पतंग को काटे है तुझी से कटके ये गिरे तेरी छत पे आके है मेरी जान चली जाए है तू जो मुड़ के देखे है तुझी से कटके ये गिरे तेरी छत पे आके है मांझा तेरा है ये दिल की पतंग को काटे है हो 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 मन माने उसे है नजरे क्या दरमिया है ये हमारे हो मन माने उसे है नजारे क्या दरमिया है ये हमारे दिल का है पंछी तू अंबर सारा है तुझे जो देखे तो ये पुर उड़ ही जाए है मांझा तेरा ते दिल की पतंग को काटे है ओ ओ ओ ओ That is manja for you.
भैया क्या आपने दिल जीत लिया हमारा, कितना प्यारा गाया आपने.
Thank you so much.
Thank
See,
you,
I told
Riya.
you,
Thank you.
it's a lot more than just singing for me. So if you ask me to sing at any time, any place, I will be ready with my guitar, ready to perform.
Cool. I'll
Always.
hit you up. I'll hit you up. Let's jam
Thank
together
you.
sometime.
Sure, we shall. Thank you for
Okay.
having
Thank you,
me.
Riya. Thank you for participating. We'll announce the next award now. Congratulations to KP Mercy from College of Nursing, Army Hospital.
Now the road is long, I look up to the sky, and in the dark I almost thought that I won't fly, and I sing along. I got a lonely when I got you and I look around me, see a straight line, stars from the top, but you my flashlight, getting me through the night, kicks on my heart when you're shining in my eyes. Can't lie, it's a sweet life. Down from the top, but you my flashlight. You're getting me through the night. You're my flashlight. You're my flashlight. Flashlight. Oh, I see the stars go beneath the mountains. I'm not afraid when the rain won't stop. 'Cause you light the way. You light the way. You light the way. And you and I look around me, see a sweet light. It's dark in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're guiding me through the night. Keeps on my heart when you're shining in my eyes. Can't lie, it's a sweet light. It's dark in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're guiding me through the night. It's fair.
Congratulations to you. Are you here on call with us? KP, are you here? KP Mercy from Army College of Nursing. Are you here with us? Okay, I don't think she's here, but congratulations to you. You sang beautifully. Thank you for participating. Now let's move on to our winner. Congratulations to Pretty P. Alex from Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia College.
I am down and know my soul's so weary. When troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy sea. I am strong when I am on your shoulder. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy sea. I am strong when I'm on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Congratulations to you. Are you here on call with us?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. You sang so beautifully.
Thank you very much.
So tell us, do you enjoy singing? Is there something you recently picked up?
I think I sang from a very young age, but but at the age of 10 or 11, I joined the church choir. Like my father was in the church choir, so was my sister. So kind of like a family tradition, I also joined the church choir, and I think it's from there that I actually learned how to sing. Before that, it was just like humming along with the movie tunes and all that.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I think I think your video is paused.
Is it? Wait, let me try and reconnect.
That's fine. We would love to hear you sing genuinely, but we're running out of time and we have to start our next panel. I'm so sorry, but we love your video. And congratulations on winning. It was beautiful. It was beautiful what we heard. You were amazing. Thank you so much for participating and sharing your talent with us and everybody who's watching.
Thank you.
Everybody, can you please unmute yourselves and give a big round of applause to all our winners and all our participants. That was extremely good. Thank you. Okay, now I'll move on to our next panel, which is a fantastic panel on acting and on the entire idea of filmography, on how the entire show goes down. So I'll just, our esteemed panelists are here as well. So Saurabh, so are you here?